Hello, and welcome to Alan Smithee's Movie Archives. I'm your host, Matt Walker. On today's show, we're going to look at the 1943 classic, The Yaltese Baggee. This, of course, starred the Hollywood icon Jack Garth, the young starlet at the time, Miss Mary Ann Montgomery, the character actor, Armando Coleman, and the young and upcoming star who had been in Hollywood for a short time, went on to have a very successful career founding his own company. His name, the Prince of the Stage, Sir Haden Ashbury. As you may recall in previous episodes of Alan Smithee's Movie Archives, Ashbury shot to fame during the studio period of Hollywood. He started with California Pictures. Eventually he moved on to found his own corporation titled Regal Films, in which he was the chief officer. After some troubling financial times, he merged with California Pictures, co-founded California Regal American Pictures. After some additional financial difficulties, which were largely due to alimony and paternity suits brought against Ashbury, he was forced to sell California Regal American Pictures, CRAP, and he took his film vaults and all of his copyrights to a Hollywood impresario and current producer of ASBoM, Mr. Alan Smithee. Included in Alan Smithee's CRAP archives is a 1955 interview with Sir Haden Ashbury. This was conducted by the Anglo-Saxon broadcasting system of his native England. We present to you now here, from the Alan Smithee Movie Archives, an interview with Sir Haden Ashbury.
We met up with the Prince of the Stage, Sir Haden Ashbury, at the Alan Smithee Center for Performing Arts. He was preparing for his role in his one-man adaptation of Peyton Place. Ashbury refused to talk to us with his native English, stating, "I need to keep using this Yankee accent to stay in character for my play."
I like to consider myself a child of the stage. I mean this both literally and metaphorically, of course. I was conceived in the balcony of the Savoy Theatre in Trafalgar Square. In about 9 months, my mother was performing the Gilbert and Sullivan operetta, the HMS Pinafore, and that's where I made my stage debut. My father was a prideful man, prideful of his craft. He was a 7th-generation performer, 1st-generation actor, yes.
Can we move things along? My ascot's starting to itch. Yeah,
I have 3 half-siblings and 2 step-siblings that I know of. My father was a bit of a philanderer. I lost touch with him as the war was about to break. He told me he was joining the Home Guard. I think he was stationed in Hamburg somewhere. At least that's what the ticket said.
You gotta give me one take. One solid take. And I said, I got something for you. Juan, check this out. It goes like this.
I only have had one sibling, Nigel.
Although war was on the horizon, Ashbury's acting bug took him to America and to California Pictures. He immediately found success in Prince of the Persian Seas, where he would meet his first and fourth wife, Svea Valborg.
Svea, she was like an angel. A big, tall, Swedish angel. She starred with Flynn. She starred with Gable. But she wasn't a star till she starred with Ashbury. I wasn't aware of it till after we were married, but turns out she couldn't speak a lick of English. She memorized all of her lines phonetically for the films. But she turns out she was a smart cookie for a Swede.
Following Prince of the Persian Seas, Ashbury was paired with character actor Armando Coleman. The two would later go on to star in the famous Set Sail movie series. The first would be the ill-timed Set Sail for Luxembourg, which was released in late August 1939.
We were teamed up for the first time in Luxembourg, and it was very strange. People kept telling me, "You can't go to Luxembourg now." And I said, "Why not? They have water, you can sail there. It makes sense to me."
It was during these war years that Sir Haden would suffer a tragedy. Ashbury's younger brother Nigel was a lieutenant in the RAF. Sir Haden tells us of that bleak September morn.
He released his bombs at a very high altitude. And he banked and he dived and he got underneath those bombs and there was a horrendous explosion. But there was a U-boat just leaving port. And actually, the debris from his plane scored the hull of that U-boat. And actually, after-action report states that that U-boat sunk underneath the water after it was hit.
It was after this that King George VI knighted Sir Ashbury. Following Luxembourg was Set Sail for America, a war bond movie-making juggernaut, which was quickly followed with Set Sail for Down Under, which was not a major release, but instead used as a training video and recruitment video by the US Navy. They took a break from the series before returning in the once again ill-timed release of Set Sail for Seoul, and was released on June 23, 1950, just 2 days before the Communist North invaded the Democratic South. The final in the series was this year's Set Sail for the Moon. But perhaps more memorable than the 5 Set Sail films were the Sam Marlowe McNeill Diamond novels turned into movies.
Once again, I was teamed with Hermando for the gritty noir tale, the Yaltese Baggee. We made something like 17 of those McNeill Diamond films. Some of them include The Fourth Man, Strangers on a Gondola, Agoraphobia, South by Southeast, and of course, Citizen Smith.
It was during this first Diamond film, The Yaltese Baggee, that Ashbury met young starlet Marianne Montgomery. The infatuated Englishman had a well-publicized, unrequited courtship of the Midwest farm girl, and this led to his first divorce. It did not stop Ashbury, though, from convincing his studio to purchase Montgomery's contract, which he would later purchase when he founded his own studio.
You're my audience out here. Where are they?
That's just a sample of the interview conducted by the Anglo-Saxon Broadcasting System. The interview drones on for about 12 hours, and it's mostly due to Ashbury's need to clarify his family tree. What was not discovered until recently, though, is that Sir Haden Ashbury almost had his knighthood removed by King George VI, the very monarch who had given him that title. The reasons, as we've discovered, is that Haden had some dalliances toward the young and now current Queen Elizabeth II. The only saving grace for Ashbury was that King George VI died in early 1952 and never got around to actually removing the knighthood. Those close to the king, who were aware of the king's intentions, were all too distraught to focus on the Ashbury problem as it was known. Because of that, Ashbury skated by, and the incident has fallen into obscurity. For Alan Smithee's Movie Archives, I'm Matt Walker. Thanks for watching.